Wilson. Garrett Wilson makes someone miss. Garrett Wilson's loose to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Breece Hall cuts up the middle. Breece Hall's loose. Breece Hall's gone. Breece Hall is gone. He walks into the end zone. Josh Allen fires it over the middle. Intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks off Allen. Sauce Gardner. Let's go. The rookie picks off Josh Allen. Win it. Oh my God. Drops back to pass. He fires it over the middle. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson. The New York Jets tie the football game. The rookie. The Jets win. The Jets win. Ashton Davis. Ice the king. Let's go. And Quinton Williams with the tackle for loss. That's a loss of 5 yards. Josh Allen is going to fire up a bomb. Josh Allen. Sauce Gardner's there for the game winner. The New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills and improved to 6-3 on the year. Sauce Gardner. That's how we get on the ball, boys. Yeah. Live yet again here on Jets Media to talk about, you guessed it, the quarterback search. Oh my God, I'm over it. I know you guys are over it. We all want an answer to the quarterback search. It's been long. It's been dreadful. But is this the week where we get the answer? Do we find out what Aaron Rodgers is going to say? Is he retiring? Is he playing football? Is he staying with Green Bay? Is he going to the Jets? Is he going to the Raiders? Is he going to the Titans? Just let me know, Aaron Rodgers. Is Derek Carr going to sign with somebody, the Jets or not? Those are the only two quarterbacks that can really make a decision. We also have to keep in mind Lamar Jackson's whole scenario. But when it comes to Ryan Tannehill and Jimmy G, we're not going to hear about those guys until free agency officially opens. But I do think that we could have a more, how do you put this? I think we can have a better idea of who the Jets quarterback could be by the end of the week. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe it's next week. But I really think now that the NFL Combine's this week, we're going to hear from Joe Douglas tomorrow. I think things are going to start happening. Because I know Jets fans, including myself, because trust me, I don't want to go live every day talk about the same negotiations that you guys, debates in the chat. Is it Rodgers? Is it Carr? Is it neither? Who is it? Well, the cons and the pros of these guys. I get it. You're tired of it just as much as I am. And we just want to figure out who the heck the quarterback is. And that's why I wanted to go live to talk about, will the Jets land Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers? Because I think we can all agree that those are the top two options for the New York Jets. If it's not those two guys, it's either Jimmy Garoppolo, it's either Ryan Tannehill, or dare I say Lamar Jackson somehow. I don't know if that's possible, but it is possible if you think of it in the perspective that the Baltimore Ravens do have a big decision to make, that the franchise tag window's open and they could put the non-exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson, which will allow him to negotiate with other teams, and that team could be the New York Jets. So I do want to say a big shout out to everybody in the chat. How are you guys doing here on this Monday afternoon? We got Peter in the chat. What's up, Peter? We got Hawk, Michael, Zachary, William. What's up? Hayden Nate, King Joe, Rich always tuning in. John's in the chat. Noah, dope intro. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that. Great member of the channel, Mr. Boise Bomber. Welcome, welcome. Peter, Jay, Jets Forever, the legend. We already have our answer at quarterback. Zach, love this. Love that, Jets Forever. Jay. And Charles, great member of the channel as well. What's good, Charles? So I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat. V-Man coming in last second. My man Hennessy. Let's go. DeAndre. Let's go, baby. I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's live stream, which is indeed BetUS, the official sportsbook sponsor of Jets Media. BetUS is an app that you can go on or a website by clicking the link down below in the description to make your bets on the NFL draft coming. Who's going to go number 1 overall? Who's the first quarterback? Who's the first defensive player off the board? You can also bet on fun things about next year. Who's going to win the Super Bowl if you really already want to put some money on that. So if you guys want to click on the link down below in the description, you will get a lot of fun stuff. 125% sign up bonus when you sign up, or you get $50 deposited into your account right when you make an account without even making a deposit, which is really cool. And you look at all the stuff that they got. They got the NFL draft. They got the NFL conferences. Let's look at this NFL conference stuff. The odds to win the NFC, the odds to win the AFC. Look at the Jets as the 5th best odds to make the Super Bowl. What's going on here? What are we missing? The New York Jets have the 5th best odds in the AFC conference to make the Super Bowl. Don't ask me why. Do they know something that we don't? I don't know. But they got the Chargers, Bengals, and Bills and Chiefs ahead of us. And then, I don't know. Does Vegas know something we don't know? That's pretty interesting. They got a lot of fun stuff here on BetUS. So, again, guys, if you want to click the link down below in the description to sign up to BetUS, feel free to do so. We got a donation from DFF1234. First donation of the stream. We appreciate you. 1 to 100 odds getting Roger. Yeah. I think the Jets are the most likely to land Aaron Rodgers, if I had to guess. And we will have to wait and see. But I think that the answer, again, is going to be sooner rather than later. I really believe that we're going to figure out where this Jets team is headed in terms of the whole quarterback search, because the first domino to fall that we've been waiting for a while is Aaron Rodgers. And apparently Aaron Rodgers is going to be speaking with the Green Bay Packers this week. And that's going to give us as a Jets fan base more understanding of where Aaron Rodgers is situated in his life. So definitely stay tuned for that. No doubt about it. I do want to give a big shout out to my anybody that follows my other NFL YouTube channel, Touchdown Kingdom. I just came out with a new video on there yesterday that highlights we predicted the top quarterback landing spots. This video down here, my most recent video. And I also have an AFC East offseason breakdown video on this channel if you guys want to check that out. This is my other NFL YouTube channel for anybody that's interested. It's called Touchdown Kingdom. And by the thumbnail of the quarterback landing spot video, I think you can see, if I don't know if it's too small. There you go. I think you can see who we predicted to be on the Jets. And that man goes by Aaron Rodgers. So if you guys want to check that link out, it's in the description of the video, Touchdown Kingdom, and also the AFC East offseason breakdown is a pretty cool video that we made over there. But I want to get your guys' thoughts of this situation, because it's been a long, like, kind of dragged out process where, you know, what more is there to debate? What more is there to talk about? I mean, we're talking about the same topics over and over and over again. So I just feel like it comes down to, like, what's the gut feeling? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? And we got some Knicks fans in the chat right now. Go Knicks, bing bong. Guess who's going to be at the Garden tonight? You guessed it, your boy. I'm going into Madison Square Garden. I actually got to catch a train, so I'm not going to be able to go live for an extended period of time today like I usually would, because your boy's going to New York City, and he's going to go watch the New York Knicks beat the Boston Celtics. But we're not going to talk about the Knicks. I have a whole – any of you guys that are not aware, I have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to the New York Knicks, which is why when I do have Knicks fans in this chat bring up the Knicks, I'm not going to bore the people that are not basketball fans or not Knicks fans by talking about them. So any of my Knicks fans in the chat, go to Knicks Media, because that's where I talk about the New York Knicks. Knicks versus Boston. Let's go, baby. Odds movement will be interesting when we sign a quarterback. Yes, it is. And the odds are, like, in our favor without us signing a quarterback. So Vegas has the New York Jets getting a good quarterback. Interesting stuff, right? Peter, not living with optimism, said, we will get screwed somehow. We always do. Probably end up with Tannehill. That would suck. Well, Peter, that would suck. And I'm going to sit here and say it with a straight face and say it with confidence, Peter. Say it with me, Peter. We're not going to sign Ryan Tannehill. For my sake, for your sake, for Jets fans' sake. And it's not. And the funny thing about Ryan Tannehill, listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I'd be happy, because I want Aaron Rodgers and I want Derek Carr above Ryan Tannehill, 110%. But if you do think it from this perspective, Ryan Tannehill is a significant upgrade from what we had last year. Just saying, but I agree with you, Peter. That would suck. The sad thing is Tannehill will be the best quarterback the Jets have had in nearly 10 years. And that's exactly my point. It would suck to get Ryan Tannehill, but then when you think of it from this perspective, yeah. And I do want to give you guys a little insight, a little scoop. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to One Jets Drive. Yes, I am. I got invited to the Jets facility. I can't tell you why just yet, because I'll just tell you this. I got invited because they're doing a special feature on something for their production, the One Jets Drive films. They're doing a whole episode on something, and I don't want to spoil it, but I am invited, and I'm going to be interviewed by them, and it's going to be really cool. So I'm not going to be able to go live tomorrow if there's any updates because I'll be at the One Jets Drive at the Jets facility. So wish me luck on that, and you guys will see that feature whenever it comes out, and I'll let you know about it. So, yeah, I'm really excited for that. I got invited like 2 months ago, and I couldn't really talk about it, but now that it's tomorrow, I think it's fun to just tell you guys, keep you guys in tune, and I'm really excited. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. But enough about me, enough about that. I want to hear from you guys more importantly, because any questions you may have, let me know in the chat, because there really is not really much else to talk about. I mean, we could talk about the NFL Combine. We could talk about Joe Douglas speaking to the media tomorrow, talk about any positions that we need to really – because the funny thing about this team, it's like the quarterback controversy has overtaken all the other issues. Well, not issues, but topics, right? Are we going to add another receiver? How are we going to beef up the offensive line? The linebacker situation. Are we going to re-sign Quincy? Are we going to re-sign Quan? Are we going to bring in a new free safety? I mean, all these questions we don't really talk about a lot because the quarterback is the biggest thing. And when that happens, then we can start pivoting to some offseason plans, and we can start predicting where we're going to go in the draft, predicting where we're going to go in free agency, predicting who we can trade for, right? So right now it's kind of like, damn. But I do want to get your guys' thoughts. Out of Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr, where do you sit? Would you prefer the New York Jets to sign Derek Carr to a $35+ million contract annually, not sacrifice any draft capital, and just bring him in the building? Or wait it out, trade for Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers says he wants to come to the Jets, sacrifice draft capital, and you have a 1 to 2 year window to win with Aaron Rodgers? I think it's a really interesting discussion that we've been having for a while here on my channel and everywhere else across sports world. And I do want to bring this up. It's kind of cool that we are the best storyline in the NFL right now. Turn on ESPN. Turn on NFL Network. Which team are they talking about the most? It's us. The New York Jets are the talking point of the NFL by the national media, by the way. Not by New York media. Obviously, the New York media will talk about the Jets on WFAN, on ESPN New York Radio, on all the local networks. But when I'm talking about the national scope of things, we are the talk of the league because they know how good we are if we can land a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, even if we land a quarterback like Derek Carr. Every single person I hear talk about the Jets, oh, is Aaron Rodgers a good fit for the Jets? Everyone's like, yeah, I mean, they got a top 5 defense. They got the rookie of the year, Sauce Gardner, the rookie of the year, Garrett Wilson. They got Breece Hall coming back. They can add talent to their offensive line. They added Nathaniel Hack. And I'm like hearing them kind of toot our horn a little bit and kind of hype us up from the national perspective. I'm not used to it. I'll tell you that much. I am not used to this being a team like the Jets because, let's be honest, it's not like we're never talked about in the national media. We are. Usually, though, it's on the other side of us sucking. We're incompetent. Adam Gase, Sam Darnold ghosts, whatever the hell the nightmare was. Usually, we're getting talked about in a negative way. Now, we're being talked about in a positive light because the whole league realizes how good this team would be with a serious quarterback. Woo! We are a contender with a good quarterback. With one of these two quarterbacks. Give me one of them. Give me Rodgers. Give me Carr. Give me one of them, and we could talk about going to the playoffs. I think it's I don't want to say foregone conclusion, but you bring in Derek Carr, he plays all 17 games, and we're healthy on the most part on offense, we're going to the playoffs. Yep. Quote me on it. Clip it. Clip that. So that's really where my head is at. And not going to lie, it's driving me nuts waiting this out, and we're all in it together. We're all sitting back, refreshing Twitter, waiting for news, and it's kind of been a dry period in the last couple of days. There has been no reports. It's been pretty quiet. Derek Carr visits with the Jets. It goes very well. And we're like, okay, where's Derek Carr visiting next? I don't know. Where's he visiting? I haven't heard Derek Carr going anywhere yet. So that's interesting. I thought he'd be visiting with Washington, visiting with Carolina. But he's not. So, all right. And then we're hearing reports from Green Bay. Oh, well, the Green Bay wants Aaron Rodgers back. Well, does Aaron Rodgers want to go back to Green Bay? Because that's pretty important in this report. I hear when people are twisting like, oh, Aaron Rodgers going back to Green Bay. No. Green Bay is saying they want Aaron Rodgers back. Does that mean Aaron Rodgers wants to go back there? Exactly. My point, which is why we are sitting here and waiting. If you are all enjoying today's live stream, it would mean a lot to me if you can simply click on that little thumbs up icon and hit that like button for your boy. So we can get as many Jets fans and even NFL fans in here to talk about the New York Jets quarterback search. And it's a dry spell. It's a dry period right now. But it's beautiful that I have this platform to be able to go live and interact with you all. It really makes me happy that I'm able to talk my thoughts with you guys about the team that we all love so freaking much. And luckily we have the combine now to really see some football. And this is, I do want to say this. This NFL draft coming up has been really weird for me personally because I don't know if we're keeping that 13th overall pick yet. So I'm really not as invested as I have been in the draft. Like last year, for example, we had 2 top 10 picks, the 4th and 10th. We had 2 second-round picks. I was like so into like all the prospects. I was doing all my research. I was so into the combine. This year, we don't have as much capital, and we could be trading away the capital. So I'm not even that invested in the draft as I usually am because I'm waiting to find out. If we sign Derek Carr, and then I know we're keeping 13. I know we're keeping your second-round pick. That's when all the draft content's coming out on my channel. I'm hesitating on who we're going to take at 13 because that pick could be gone for all I know, and I feel like that's a waste of time. So that's why if you're wondering, Richie, where's the draft content at? That's the reason for it. So we have to wait because the combine's really going to be fun to watch, man. And I remember last year's draft combine was so fun to watch. I could play better than Zach, and I'm 56. Peter is done with Zach Wilson. And then my man Jets Forever says, y'all, we are thinking that we're a quarterback away. We're not. Zach is our quarterback. We need a center and guard. Oh, my goodness. See, now it's at the point where I can't tell if he's trolling, if he just likes being, like, different, or he genuinely believes this. And newsflash, Jets Forever, we are a quarterback away. Sorry, man, my man. We are. If we had a quarterback last year, not named Zach Wilson, that was a veteran and good and played for 17 games, guess what? The Jets were in the playoffs. Sorry. And you know me, Jets Forever. I gave Zach Wilson the benefit of the doubt all season long to the point where I had people roasting me on Twitter. Oh, Richie, you were not hard on Zach. You still believed in Zach. And I got roasted for it like that. I was wrong about Zach Wilson, and cool. I'll take it. I just supported Zach throughout his struggles, and I supported Zach throughout his adversity. He was hopeful that he can figure it out, and he didn't. Sorry. I just wanted him to figure it out, and he didn't. So the cool thing about this whole narrative, as it's no longer a debate, it's a fact, and it's like obvious that Zach Wilson is not the answer right now, which is the reason why we are going out there to get a veteran quarterback. So that is pretty cool that we're not even thinking about that. Am I streaming the draft? So everybody stay tuned for this because I'm holding back on the planning for this, but I'm waiting for the domino to fall to figure out if we have our own pick. Because if we're holding out to 13th, I am thinking about, and don't quote me on it, I'm thinking about collaborating with a bar locally on Long Island and having a draft party. Inviting you guys. We get a ticket. You buy the ticket, and it's like open bar, open food. And I'm going to live stream from the bar, and you guys will all come, and we'll all watch the draft together. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that's something I'm trying to work out. I got to do more research to see if it's possible, figure out where I can go to do this. But I also don't want to do this if we traded away our pick, right? Who's going to show up? We don't have a pick to celebrate or cry about. Remember we used to boo our picks? Would you get Aaron Rodgers or Carr? So I'm really on the fence. I'd prefer Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm really warming up to the idea of Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers just a slight bit for a lot of reasons. Either one, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm live talking to you guys with a smile on my face. But I really feel like it's so interesting if you want to balance the two. The pros and cons of the two are so interesting to me. If we had Hackett as OC when we drafted Zach, I see this whole team being way different. Mike LaFleur was to fail in this whole equation. I think it was part of the problem, Hawk. I don't think it's all his fault, but I do think that, Mike LaFleur, and this isn't an excuse, this isn't anything, but I think we all also have to keep in mind how much of an impact Greg Knapp's passing was. Rest in peace, Greg Knapp. And the thing about Greg Knapp that people forget, everyone assumed like, oh, well, that's not going to help out Zach Wilson. No, it's not going to help out Mike LaFleur because Greg Knapp was brought here to not only develop the quarterback, but to help develop Mike LaFleur. Because Mike LaFleur, as a rookie offensive coordinator, he had that veteran former offensive coordinator in Greg Knapp and former quarterbacks coach to lean on to help him out with the offense. And then when he passed and they didn't fill that void, Mike LaFleur didn't have anyone to lean on. And then last year, this past season, the Jets decided to not fill in that position, which I think was a mistake. Now they filled in this year with Todd Downing. Now Todd Downing is our passing game coordinator. So we will see if that's the smart move or not. But I do like that the Jets have finally filled in that void of the passing game coordinator. We need as much veteran presence in the offensive coaching staff because the offense was the issue. Big time. Thank you, Rich. Take A-Rod from us, please. I would love to. Give us to him for free. How about that? Didn't Derek Carr want to make a decision before the combine? Why aren't we hearing anything? And there aren't any scheduled visits with him. I don't think there was any report saying that he wanted to make a decision before the combine. I think at the combine is where things are going to start pick up steam. And he's also taking his time. He doesn't have a rush. Like, he gets to sign before anybody else, before free agency begins. So Derek Carr is going to weigh his options, and we'll figure it out. Take Derek Carr and get a ring. I mean, take Rodgers and get a ring. Yeah, thank you. I love that. Carr, no visits, please, Jets. Go get Rodgers. Hopefully, man. Why don't you guys reach out to Stidham? He's a free agent too. Is this a joke? Stidham for what? Our backup? Do you want the Jets to be on Hard Knocks? Good question. I do love the Jets series that we have already with One Jets Drive and Flight 2022. So if we're not on Hard Knocks, I wouldn't mind it. But also, I feel like Hard Knocks would kind of like be cool to bring us on the national scope even more, where people will really get to understand how fun this team is. I mean, we all know how fun, individually speaking, the players are. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Brees, Jermaine, Michael Clemens, the rookie draft class, obviously, with the, we have a fun team that I think would be an entertaining squad to learn about more in depth on Hard Knocks. But we do have our own show. So if we don't get Hard Knocks, we don't get Hard Knocks. Cool. I also don't want that to be a distraction and like forces drama and that as well. Get Minshew. He can play in any weather. My holy king, I appreciate this, but no. I don't get this. Like, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, then we're going to talk about Derek Carr, and then we fall back to Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, and then we got people talking about Gardner Minshew, who, by the way, is a backup quarterback in this league for a reason. Do I have to stress that? He's a backup quarterback for a reason. Minshew's no scrub, but he's a backup. Richie, do you think the silence is telling that Green Bay wants to move on from Rodgers? I find it funny he's the only blue chip player Green Bay has yet to restructure. I think he's gone. I think they're waiting to hear from Rodgers himself, and Rodgers is taking his sweet-ass time. We can draft Anthony Richardson. Yeah, as good as he may be, I am over drafting a quarterback, especially early in the first round, because we cannot go into this season. The only way we do this is if we – but then, I don't know. No, thank you. Not even going to entertain that. A-Rod and Bakhtiari for 2 firsts and one of your wide receivers. Yeah, take Denzel. You're not taking Elijah from us. That's for sure. Paulie with the $5. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate this big time. Would you want the Jets to make a play for Lamar? What do you think that Joe Douglas would have to offer? So, if Lamar Jackson becomes available, yes, I would absolutely love the Jets to entertain this. But the big question is, would you guys feel comfortable giving him the contract he's looking for? A near fully guaranteed deal on top of giving up 2 firsts. That's a lot. It really comes down to the type of franchise tag the Ravens give him, because if they give him the exclusive franchise tag, that means Lamar can go out there and negotiate contract with other teams like the Jets. And if they come to a verbal agreement, then Lamar Jackson can pivot to the Ravens and say, here, the Jets offer me this. Are you going to match it? And say if the Ravens say, no, we're not going to match it, then the New York Jets have to give up 2 first-round picks, and then we get Lamar Jackson. That's how it would work. TD coming in here talking that smack. Zach Wilson's your starter next season. The funny thing about this, TD Finn's talk, he's bringing his anxiety onto us because he's so upset that Tua Tagovailoa is going to be his quarterback next year that he's coming here spinning some fake news that Zach's going to be our starter, because he's sitting there on Twitter roasting Tua, and he's still upset that he's not going to be able to get Lamar. He's not going to be able to – they didn't get Deshaun. They didn't get Tom Brady, even though they tampered with it. They don't have a first-round pick. So now he's coming here, and he's sitting there in his tears, upset that they have to go through another year of an injury-riddled Tua. Oh, I miss you, TD. I miss you. Take Rodgers from us, even if we only get 1 first. We will try our best. A-Rod signed a 3-year contract, and after the first year, Green Bay's waiting. Yep. Everybody acts like they don't remember Lamar Jackson did not throw 2 bombs on the Jets defense. Yeah, I was there for that. And I've been a Lamar Jackson fan for a while. I want Lamar Jackson if he's available, 100%. Now everyone's bringing up what we did to those Dolphins. Quinnen Williams, stiff arm. Sauce Gardner, sack. Let him know. Do we hear something this week? It's possible, but I don't know. Zach Wilson's going to be okay. Not going to be our starter next year. No, he's not. He will not be our starter. And if you told me last year, going into the season, that Zach's going to stink and he's not going to be our starter next year, I'd be like, yikes. But it's okay. Because we are waiting to hear potential news about the Jets quarterback this week. Because the first domino to fall is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Just make your damn decision. Like, what are you doing, Aaron Rodgers? You went on your retreat. You were in darkness for freaking 3 or 4 days, whatever it was. You had some time to reconnect back to the world. Did you make your decision yet? Are you going to be in the Pat McAfee show tomorrow? Are you going to let us know? The people wants to hear from you. Stressful, okay? This is some stressful-ass time for us. We are playing the Hall of Fame game, right? I'm not sure, but definitely very likely. We had 2 Hall of Famers. Sims said it today. No other team makes sense. It's Green Bay or us. Yeah, don't sleep on the Titans. And I heard a rumor that the Raiders don't want him, so it'll be very interesting to see. Oh, my God. Zach will start at 2025. Is Zach going to be Geno Smith all over again? 7 years later, he's the starter for an NFC team and becomes a Pro Bowler? Probably, with our luck. With all things considered, Andrew wants Carr. Me too. If you keep putting pressure on Rodgers, he might try to run away into another retreat. Well, I'm going to keep putting pressure on him. I'm going to keep putting pressure on that man. Because the people need to know. People need to know. Right? It's fun that we're the talk of the league, but at the same time, it's stressful. How stressful is it, man? Richie, would you bring in Cobb if we get A-Rod? I'd rather bring in Lazard just because he's younger and I feel like has more juice. I don't know. Like, any Packers fans watching, how's Cobb recently? I mean, he's not near his prime. It would be a familiar face. If we're going to bring a Packer with him, I'd rather be Bakhtiari, but I don't know. I don't really think Cobb is like someone we would need because obviously Garrett Wilson's our number one. I love Elijah Moore as our number two. Corey Davis could be gone. Braxton Berrios could be gone. We got Denzel Mims. So there are 2 receiver spots potentially going to be opened. Could Cobb fill in one of those? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I if it's for cheap and it gives A-Rod a familiar face, yeah, do it. Jets will sign Geno or we're going to like it. I mean, this is the dark horse that no one's talking about. Can you imagine that the Jets bring in Geno Smith and he leads us to the promised land? That would be some Cinderella story type stuff. Not happening, by the way. I wouldn't cut Corey. I'm a big fan of Corey Davis, me personally. I think keeping him would be smart because if you think about it, you cut him, you save $10 million, and then with that $10 million, what are you going to do with it? You're going to go fill in another receiver. Can you find a better receiver than Corey Davis out there? The only issue with Corey Davis for me is his injury concerns. We'll jump off a bridge if we sign Geno Smith. Peter's he's really set on no Tannehill, no Geno. Who do you want, Peter? You want A-Rod or you want Carr or one of them? Give me Geno. That would be a story for the ages, but I don't see it happening. Yeah, I don't see it happening. Imagine the talent that would want to sign with the Jets if either Rodgers or Carr were snagged. Yeah, that's another important thing about this. I want the Jets to get Rodgers or Carr before free agency because then we're going to be a tractable destination for free agents. You feel me? Carr not taking meetings is telling. He's waiting for the Jets' decision. That is a good take. Give me Tebow. Come on, Patrick. Davis tends to disappear on the field, and on top of that, he's injury prone. But when he's on, really, but for the price that we're paying him, it's not worth it. If Corey Davis is healthy, he's worth it because he blocks very well. He's reliable on third down. I mean, he, I think, had the most yards. What was the stat? It was like the most yards on third down, or it was something interesting. But he's reliable. He might have a couple handful of drops that frustrates you, but he's a reliable clutch player. I mean, there's a lot of times last season where he came through in the clutch. I mean, remember that Pittsburgh Steelers game that we won? Zach Wilson's first game back? It was the Corey Davis show. It was Zach Wilson fighting Corey. So if you keep Corey Davis, I can definitely appreciate it. But if you move off of him, I can see that as well. Turbo is in the chat. Hello, Richie and Jets fans. Welcome, my friend. I'd almost bet the Jets and Carr are talking numbers as we speak. Carr leaked his number for a reason. 35 mil per year. Let's do it. Uh-oh. We got people really talking about Geno now. I'd actually take Geno. I never hated him. All the fourth quarter drives his rookie season was pretty fun. I love Geno as well. And I'm sad. I will still stand on it where if Geno did not get punched in the jaw before that 2015 season, we would have made the playoffs with Geno. Instead, we have Fitzpatrick, and nothing. I don't want to take anything away from Fitzpatrick because he broke the all-time record for the Jets in most touchdowns in a season. But I think Geno would have had his best career year, and with Brandon Marshall, oh man, because remember he was a starter that season, and then Fitzpatrick was the next man up after he got clocked in the jaw, right? A-Rod's sitting at home looking at tweets, YouTube, and news about him, and he's laughing at every one of us. Probably. Carr's just going to take us to the first round of the playoffs for 5 years. If we have a defense that's that good and we have the players around Derek Carr, I think we can get out of the first round with Derek Carr. We got to build up the O-line. We got to continuously add playmakers, and we got to add more talent to the defense. And I think this Jets team can go far with Derek Carr. I really believe it. I really believe that, man. Come on. Don't sleep on Carr. Garrett Wilson with Carr is 1,700 plus yards. He will average 100 yards a game. I could see Conklin making the Pro Bowl. Well, Andrew's high on Carr. And listen, man, if Carr's healthy all year long, I see this happening. I don't know about 1,700 yards. It's possible. I mean, that's how good Garrett Wilson is. Seriously. But Andrew, you might be onto something. And that's the thing, man. If we get Carr, if we get Rodgers, it's going to be the first time that us as a fan base is going to put so much expectations on this team heading into a season to the point where it scares me. Here's the thing. Geno would come back and suck, and the Jets would forever be known as the QB killer. Geno's not coming back. It's just a funny topic point. Realistically, I think Carr is looking for one last bag. It wouldn't surprise me if he went to the Panthers for the money instead of going to a playoff team in the Jets. Yeah, I think that, at 32 years old, he's kind of in the prime of his veteran career. And getting $35+ million annually, if you look at the way the quarterback market is situated, it's pretty good for the Jets' perspective if you look at all the other top quarterbacks. Maybe he will go to the Panthers. He hasn't met with them. He's only met with the Saints and the Jets. So we'll see, man. Jets. Jets. Would you go to the Super Bowl if the Jets make it? I would. Now, it's a good question because I've always contemplated, would I rather be home live streaming the Jets Super Bowl with you guys, like I stream every game, or be there? Tough. I've always said in my life before I made my YouTube channel that, and when I was really young, if the Jets, or I didn't say if, I always said, when the Jets make the Super Bowl, I'm going, no matter how much it costs. And I'm like 13 years old saying this. So, I don't know. Getting to this Super Bowl, those streams would be legendary because that means we won the wild card. That stream is probably going crazy. The divisional round, we're going crazy. The conference championship, we're going crazy. How much are Super Bowl tickets? The range? A lot. Like $3,000 to $5,000 plus the airfare, plus wherever you got to fly. It's a lot of money, man. That's another thing where I'm like, well, I could just sit home and not spend that money. But the one thing that will happen is when the Jets win the Super Bowl in my life, I'm moving to Manhattan for a week. I am obviously going to be at the parade, and there's going to be parties every night. And we are just taking over New York City. That's what's going to happen when we win the Super Bowl, by the way. It's going to happen. And we're going to be crying our eyes out. We have grown men, me, just bawling our eyes out, watching Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh hoisted Lombardi. Oh, Richie, they're not winning the Super Bowl with Douglas and Saleh. We need to get rid of them. Okay, it's going to be with Douglas and Saleh. I'm going to say that until they're gone. How about that? And me and my friend Jack, we've always envision this in our brains for fun. Like, what would it be like if we actually won the Super Bowl? Like, let's just close our eyes and visualize what that reality would be like. And the first thing we would say is like, yep, we're crying. but crying in like this. Huge smile on our face. Like tears flying down. We're laughing. We're all like, it's happened. Oh my God, that needs to happen. Please. I'm going to cry on the stream. I mean, oh, God. The amount of pain and misery we've went through, all those tears would come out. You feel me? Damn, bro. And yeah, we could talk about Super Bowls all we want, but remember, guys, we got to get to the damn playoffs first. And it's going to happen this year. It's going to happen this year. A year from now, we're going to be coming off a season that we made it to the playoffs and made a playoff run. Okay? Come on. When I went to the Super Bowl, 3 tickets were $12 each. Wow, William. What Super Bowl was this? Super Bowl 3 with the Jets? How much stock do you put in Carr's bad cold weather record? Not as much as some people. Obviously, he's never won, and he's not used to it. But, I mean, if we are a team that is building the way that Robert Saleh is trying to, with a ground and pound style offense that's punching you in the throat in the trenches and a top 5 defense and a special teams, I don't think that this is going to be as big of an issue as most people believe. Remember that Buffalo-Cincinnati Bengals game in the playoffs, the divisional round? That was a windy, cold, snowy game. Did the Bengals win that game because of Joe Burrow? Or did they win that game because of their offensive line and their ground and pound and Joe Mixon and their defense? Not taking anything away from Joe Burrow, but that was won because of they took advantage of the elements and they ran the ball down their throat. So the good teams in the East, like the Jets, when it's cold, you have to be able to run the ball. And we have Breece Hall. We have Elijah Vera Tucker. We have hopefully a healthy Mekhi Becton. That's what you do in the cold weather. Would you upgrade the O-line? Absolutely. That is a priority in the offseason. Hopefully we have a slim down, healthy Mekhi. We have a healthy AVT, a bounce back year from Lincoln Tomlinson, and then you have 2 other positions to fill in, whether that's in the draft or the free agency. Let's do it. A new stadium equals Super Bowl. Hey, you never know. With either Carr or Rodgers, we're splitting with Bills sweeping Pats and sweeping Fins. I honestly think there's a better chance of us sweeping the Dolphins than sweeping the Patriots. Sweeping the Bills rather than sweeping the Patriots, just because the Patriots have our number, and we really matched up well against the Bills this year. But hey, 5-1 in the division, sign me the hell up. Hit the like button, gentlemen. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate you. Orlando Brown, a free agent this year. Yeah, that's an interesting player. I saw a potential trade out there if they franchise tag him and trade him. I mean, Orlando Brown would cost a lot of money, but that's a franchise tackle that you could bring in. All right, guys, so I am actually going to the New York Knicks game tonight, and I do have to go catch a train, so I am going to wrap up the show a little earlier today. My apologies, but I will be more consistent. I am also, by the way, going on vacation this weekend. It's a destination wedding. It's my sister's best friend's wedding in Punta Cana. I'm flying Thursday, coming back Monday. My luck is I'm going to be in paradise, away from my studio when the Jets make a move for their quarterback. My luck, I'm going to be on the plane and we got Aaron Rodgers or something. And I'm like, oh, wow, I can't even go live. So I'm kind of trying to bring my equipment. So if something does happen, I can go live for it. But just to give you guys a little update of what's going on with me, I'm going to be away this weekend in Punta Cana for a wedding. And hopefully it goes well. And hopefully the Jets can just pause on their quarterback search for me. They know that Richie can't report on it, so they're not going to do it yet, right? Right? We'll see. But yeah, I'll keep you guys I'll keep you guys up to date on my trip and all that fun stuff. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the show. If you did not already, please do me a favor and hit that like button on your way out. And yeah, let's freaking go Jets. Let's keep trugging along of this long process of if the Jets are going to sign a quarterback or not. Jonathan, last question. Richie, the Jets go into the playoffs. The Bills will be there. The Dolphins are going to be scary good, and adding Fangio to that defense will make a big difference. I'll answer this question, Jonathan, after I know who the quarterback is. How about that? If it's one of these 2 quarterbacks on the screen, yes, Jonathan, we're going to the playoffs. Well, again, thank you to everybody tuning in. Hit that like button on your way out. And I'll be live Wednesday, so we can talk more about stuff later on. So appreciate you guys. Much love. Let's go, Jets. And let's go Knicks. Peace out, everybody.